All right, time now for Keller at Large. Here's John.
Thanks so much for joining us. Well, the latest round of very disappointing MCAS scores are a major red flag for public education in Massachusetts. What happened? What do we do next? How should it guide your decision on whether or not to support the ballot question this fall that would drop MCAS test passage as a high school graduation requirement? Those are all among the topics we're discussing in this conversation with State Secretary of Education Patrick Tutwiler. Mr. Secretary, welcome.
Glad to be back.
Always great to have you here.
Thank you.
Obviously, the school shutdowns during the pandemic took a toll on student performance. We get that. But the MCAS scores were slipping before the pandemic hit, for years before. And the gusher of state and federal spending on schools in the past few years hasn't seemed to help much. Do you think you know what the problem is and what the fix is?
We think we know what part of the problem is. Where we see the biggest challenge on the MCAS, particularly our younger students, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, is in the space of literacy. English language arts has been stagnant. Geez, you go back to maybe 2016. Right now, less than half of third graders are performing at proficient or above on the MCAS. And so, thankfully, Governor Healy and her vision around transforming literacy instruction in Massachusetts is beginning just now with, thanks to a partnership with the legislature, $20 million to launch Literacy Launch in Massachusetts, which will help, I think, significantly in this area.
That won't help math scores.
Math scores are actually doing okay. We look at the last round of MCAS, they were stagnant, some areas where there's improvement, and so we're digging into the area where we know there's the most challenge, also most fundamental to education. That's literacy.
Now, you were here, I believe it was in March, talking about the literacy initiative, and it's just rolling out this fall, correct?
That is correct.
Back last spring, when this was being formulated and rolled out, there was staunch resistance from the teacher unions and from other elements of the education establishment. Has that eased? Is that still an issue?
Well, we're not letting that deter our resolve around addressing the issue in schools. The Literacy Launch Initiative is an opt-in initiative for districts.
Right.
There will be a broad-based professional development piece to it. We'll also address how aspiring teachers are taught how to teach students how to read in schools of education. And so this is a robust effort. It's an opt-in effort for school districts. But what I would say to those who oppose this kind of thinking is the data tells the story. We've got a challenge here in Massachusetts, and we need to address it.
And can you explain to our viewers what is at the core of the reform? There had been, over the last, I want to say 10, 15 years, a rise in literacy teaching methods that turned out not to work. And so this is not just going back to the old ways, but returning to approaches that are proven to work, correct?
Fundamentally, it is returning to the old ways.
Okay.
Phonics-based instruction has been around for more than 100 years, has been shown to be the most effective approach meeting the needs of all students. We've gotten away from that, and we need to get back to it.
What % of district buy-in are you getting?
Well, right now, I'll tell you there's a little more than 120 districts that are using what we would call non-evidence-based strategies. There are, a significant amount that are, but we want to provide additional supports because it's not just about what curriculum you're using. It's about the professional development. It's about the systems. It's about assessment. It's around making sure that the requisite number of minutes are spent on instructing literacy. And so we're helping districts move to the next level who are already there and sort of wooing those who are still using the non-evidence-based stuff.
All right, we've got to take our break. When we return, more with the State Secretary of Education, Patrick Tutwiler. Welcome back to our conversation with Massachusetts Secretary of Education, Patrick Tutwiler. So, Mr. Secretary, question 2 on the November ballot. Some people will be voting starting in just a couple of weeks. Would decouple the MCAS testing with high school graduation requirements. You, Governor Healy, oppose this. The Massachusetts Teachers Association, the mega teacher union, is raising millions of dollars to try to get it passed. Basically, you know, what's your argument at this point to people to vote no on this? Why does it matter?
Appreciate the question. First, I appreciate your laying out that all the question does is decouple the assessment from graduation requirements. Students will still have to take the assessment regardless of the outcome of the question.
But people should know, excuse me for interrupting,
Sure.
This is the only high school graduation requirement.
In Massachusetts,
in
that
Massachusetts.
plus you need to take phys ed all 4 years and,
Right.
and some civics. Yes.
Okay.
So here's why this proposal is concerning, and I'll try to button this up neatly for you. First, assessment is important, right? We believe deeply in assessment. Is the MCAS a perfect assessment? No, it is not. It is a very good one, and it's one that gives us a window into, in high school and in grades 3 through 8, how are students doing relative to a set of standards in terms of their skills and knowledge base, so that we can develop a coherent strategy in the state to meet their needs and understand which groups of students need more help. Super important. We also oppose the question because it would eliminate the uniform expectation for graduation in Massachusetts, putting us in company with only a couple of states that have no uniform expectation for graduation. 34 states require students to take some assessment as part and parcel of a graduation requirement. The rest of them require, whether it's a set of courses or some additional requirement. This ballot question eliminates the MCAS as the only uniform requirement or expectation for graduation and doesn't replace it with anything. And so we would have potentially, if you add all the districts and all the charter schools, about 400 different variations of high school graduation requirements. One other piece, if I may, very quickly.
Sure.
The former educator wants to make sure that this is made clear. When you engage in a change effort in education, you need to first explicitly articulate what is going to be better in terms of outcomes and student preparation with that change. That's missing from this proposal. And change in education, it should be engaged through a thoughtful process, not an event. When it's an event, there are always consequences. And in this particular case, I'd say they're predictable consequences.
Well, look, I love teachers. Most teachers are great. Some teachers are not great. And one other side effect of the MCAS, not only spotlighting students who are struggling so help can be sent, but it also spotlights classrooms and the teachers running them who are struggling or failing. But the Mass Teachers Association doesn't like that level of accountability. Isn't that the truth?
Here's what I would say as an educator, and I think every educator would agree with this statement. We have an obligation to ensure that every student who leaves our schools are prepared and ready for the next step in their lives. We are accountable to them for that. Every teacher is accountable to them for that. The MCAS is part of that piece of accountability, making sure that they are ready for the next step in their lives.
So, just to make it clear, you're urging our viewers to vote no for all the reasons that you've just cited.
We are concerned about what this will mean for students if there is no uniform expectation for graduation. We are open to exploring different models for high school graduation.
Okay.
Simply eliminating any uniform expectation is not the right way to go.
One last quick thing. When you see a debacle like the situation in Brockton, where an independent investigation found a culture of incompetence, gross mismanagement of the budget, a school committee that was unquestioning and disengaged in financial matters. You know, Brockton, Boston has had its struggles complying with the consent decree it signed with the state to try to improve things like transportation. We've seen the busing debacle that just occurred. Most districts don't have these problems, but clearly some do. Do you envision a future of more state intervention being necessary in places like this?
I envision a scenario where state intervention, first in the form of help, could happen where those instances arise. Brockton being one of them, the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education immediately responded, providing sort of forensic help around what went wrong in terms of the budget and finance. We righted the ship, so to speak, there, and they're in a much better place now. Boston, we continue to work with closely to get them to meeting our expectations in the system improvement plan, and there is forward progress there. And so that's our responsibility, part of our obligation to students and their families first and foremost.
You've got a lot on your platter. Good luck.
Thank you.
Please come again.
I will, indeed.
Okay,
Thank
good to have you. And by the way, if you're wondering, we had the head of the Mass AFL-CIO on a couple of weeks ago giving the case for a yes vote on question 2. You'll be hearing much more about that. And coming up a week from next Tuesday night here on WBZ, it's the first U.S. Senate debate between Elizabeth Warren, the incumbent, and her challenger, John Deaton. Tune in Tuesday, October 15th, 8:30 p.m. to watch this live one-hour debate co-sponsored along with WBZ by the Boston Globe. And I guarantee you it will be worth your time.